All right, so we just finished up the day here for Monday, June 13th. Finished the day up $141.53 with trading 3 stocks, red on 2 of them and green on HILS. Made approximately almost 400 on HILS. And then 2, pretty sizable losses on EKSO and Dawn. I had $142 loss and a $103 loss on EKSO. And so net, that's up 141, which is okay. It's a solid day, Definitely, I could have minimized some of the losses early in pre-market. Actually took all my losses pre-market. Actually had one mistake, sizing mistake, and I actually was forced to close my position. I'll tell you in a second. Well, I'll show you in a second. But that was like 130 of the loss. So really, could definitely be up more if I didn't make that mistake. But probably could have been avoided easily if I would have just double checked before I hit my order. Somehow it got reset and I oversized my position. But let's go into these trades. Here I'll show you my intraday P&L swing, which is pretty significant, almost the opposite of what I had last week on Wednesday. So Wednesday I was green. So last Wednesday I was green 250 and swung red 250. Today I swung from red 250 to green 150. So definitely got to give some credit to HILS. That's where I made most of my profit. It was kind of a godsend with the type of move that gave. Kind of wish I got a little bit more aggressive on it, but I was totally not expecting a move like that. So let's go through the trades here first. Dawn was a really good pre-market runner, and I didn't really trade it as well as I wanted to because it did have a bigger float, and I was a little bit skeptical on the breakouts, and the spread was a little bit wider. It's a more expensive stock. So I was kind of managing my risk here in the beginning. So here I had to try to go for a scalp here on this 1 minute pullback after a fresh breakout, thinking to see some continuation, but it kept going sideways, so I took off for about break even. Then we got a nice flat top breakout for about a $1 run. Then I went in for the pullback, and it formed a nice little 1 minute bull flag. And as the 9 EMA caught up to the pattern, the 9 EMA kind of pushed it out of this breakout, this flat top, or you could say bull flag. We got a nice 40-cent push, and I took some profits, only 100 shares, but that was a quick $20. Quick $20 there, and then here we had this crazy ascension up till $13. So from that breakout, it ran $2, and I didn't actually catch any of that, but it did retrace back to the 9 EMA, which then I started to buy a dip. However, I thought I was buying 100 shares, and I ended up buying 500 shares, and I didn't even realize it at the time until I bought twice. So I thought I was in 200 shares, but I was actually in 1,000 shares. When I realized that, I just started closing for a loss, which was actually, looking back, it is the right thing to do, because I was definitely risking so much. This could easily drop 20, 30 cents for a $12 stock that could drop, 20, 30, 40 cents, and I'd be down hundreds of dollars in a matter of seconds. But if I would have held a little longer, it probably would have worked out. But for the means of managing my risk, I think it was a good thing that I did close it for a very small loss, relatively small loss. It was $12,000 position, nearly a $12,000 position, and I walked away with maybe about a 1% loss. It was very small. That 1% is $130. Then after that, I went back to my normal size, took a loss here, and that kind of shook me up a little bit. You know, it just kind of I didn't want to start the Monday morning and start the week on this type of mistake, and now I'm down $150 on the day, and kind of a little bit disappointed in myself that I didn't catch that. And then after that, I just started trading EKSO. I saw that this one moving up. I thought this would have great breakout potential. I was buying the pullbacks and looking for that move up to 45 and then break out to 50. And then it popped up and then it pushed to the high here, and I was adding into this candle looking for that breakout. And then this ended up, flushing pretty hard, and thank God I wasn't in it. I sold as it was kind of stalling out at the high here. But that could have been a detrimental loss there. I was like a 10% dip from the high of that candle. And that was, another added a small loss. And then, here again, I tried going for it at 39, looking for that move through 47 and up to the high of and up to like 250. But then that also flushed down below the 90 MA. And so that's like what, two. Here's another one, 3. So this is a nasty one. So 3 losses back to back to back on this after that sizing mistake on Dawn, and so that all just like added up in my head to being like, holy crap, now I'm down like 250, and this is not the way I wanted to start the morning. And it just took me a lot of like courage just to like get my head straight and get emotionally centered, because it's only at this point 8:30 in the morning. There's so much trading left, and I can totally minimize his loss a lot, or even flip back green and get small green on the day. And so there's definitely a lot more opportunity ahead, and I just can't let the emotions of these couple of trades early in the morning affect my decision making going forward when there's still so much left in the trading day. And here was nasty. I was buying at 243. I thought this looked great to go up to 250, and then in an instant, just the rug got pulled, and I was down 15 cents. Only 250 shares, so very small size. I knew better not to go in 1,000 shares or 2,000 shares, and I was only in 250, but still, $25 loss. After all these small losses, they added up to being 250 in the red. And I think at this point, I was actually had a 22% win ratio on the day. So, talking about law of averages, I could say the next few trades, will average out by the end of the day about, my normal win-loss ratio, which is about 60%, 65%. So maybe, the next few trades will be green, statistically speaking, but obviously there's no guarantee. Every single trade is different. So let's go EKSO. At the open, I bought the breakout of the VWAP. We had a nice red to green here. Volume was coming in. I thought this had a chance to finally, go to that high that I was looking for. So I took my starter position here, and I held through this whole move here. I didn't take my profits until I took my profits actually pretty quickly. I was looking for a better entry, because it was kind of high here, and then it pulled back below the VWAP, and then I was like, okay, this thing might be done, and then just kind of went sideways from there. And then at the end of the day, we did finally get that breakout that I was looking for at 9:30, but it was very light volume, hard to trust, and now it's went completely backside and had no continuation whatsoever. So that was EKSO. Dawn, let's see if I traded Dawn here at the open. I did. I had a couple of trades, I think. Yeah, here at 11:15. So this is jumping towards the end of my trading day. This popped up on some nice volume. I thought, we might potentially get that move through 16. However, it's already up so much on the day. Who knows how much higher this would be able to go. And I was buying this first pullback off the 90 MA. And very, very, very small size, 10 shares at a time. I think I was in like 30 shares max at one point, so I was like $400. So I was really taking it easy at 1120 because I was green. I was back to, at this point I was back to green on the day at 140 in the green, and I was like, you know what? There's no way I'm risking what I just went through to get back green on a trade at 1120 in the morning. So that's why I sized down so much. And that didn't never ended up working out. Kind of just failed to the 9 EMA and then just pretty brutal backside there. Now we went to HILS, was probably the best for me today at the open. So this popped up, kind of went sideways. I didn't trade it anything pre-market, but I did have it on watch because it was a very small float, 11 million share float. And the catalyst, what was the catalyst? I think it was on a share buyback. So that's pretty good. Share buyback is a pretty decent catalyst. We tend to get some moves off of that news. And so at the open, it's $1.20 stock, so on the cheaper end, but still in my wheelhouse. And I bought the breakout of 120. And this was the only stock that was moving up at the open. Everything else was going down. So this was the only thing in play right now. So I figured, all of the traders that were trading the open are going to be looking at this stock. So I buy this breakout of the VWAP, and I'm risking, the low. I'm risking the close under. If it closes under VWAP, then, it might just be a fake out. So then I would cut my losses. But we did hold the VWAP here, and then I added, taking some profits, then added back at 35, and this is when I was looking for the break of the high. This just went, huge volume towards the high, so I just kind of hit the market order, got filled at 135, 2,000 shares, and then took that off for 10 cents. So that's instant, in like less than 10-20 seconds. I'm up $200. So I was down 250 at the open, and now I'm up. No, I'm sorry. Now I'm only down, I think, $40 on the day. And then it goes into a halt, but I wasn't holding. That would be awesome if I would have held. That could have had another 20 cents. That would have been another $200. But then I bought the resumption, and it resumed higher, so I figured there's a lot of buyers and a lot of demand on this still. Open higher is definitely bullish, so I was kind of just trading the range. Anytime this wick kind of dipped low and seemed like it was going to flush, I was just reading the tape and looking at the bid orders, and just as long as there was bids stacked, I was just adding into into the lows of this candle. So low 50s here, thinking we'd have support at 150, and then seeing trusting that these bids would hold up, and then would get bought back up. And I was kind of just trading the range, and that turned out to be a 6-cent win on 1,000 shares. So that's a nice $60 win. So at this point, I'm now green $50. Then here I'm kind of scalping again the range, a dip, and then a pop. Quick 2 cents there. And then we had another, dip here. This is like the first red candle that we've had in a while. After what, nine green candles. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green candles. That's the first red candle. So I tried buying the low of this candle, and then kind of selling into buyers buying this up. And I got a nice 2-cent profit there on 1,000 shares. So kind of all those small wins kind of started to add up pretty significantly. And here I thought we would see a good move. So I went in 1,000 shares here. But we had this full body candle to the backside. I thought this would just rip back up and then run through the high like a nice 1 minute bull flag. This is like the first pullback after a fresh huge breakout. And I thought this would resolve pretty quickly. That's why I got a little bit of an early entry, because I thought I'd get bought up pretty quickly, but it just kind of went sideways for a couple minutes, and I was like, all right, this is going to be too risky here. We're up over 100%, and there's a whole fill, 20% fill that we can just flush into. So I figured, I would sell for a small loss there. And then here we kind of curl back up slowly. And I was looking for a break of this previous high here. So I had a starter at 174, then another starter at add to my starter at 176. And again, here you can see my share size is getting smaller because now, you know, I went from red to green. I'm looking to now kind of conserve what I've got. On the day, I just came so far from being red. Now I'm small green, and you know I don't want to get back into the hole. And at this point, it's about 9:47, so we're getting kind of closer to the end here, where I do, you know, where the volume is hot and the momentum is hot. So I took a quick scalp there into the high. We had this 1 minute pullback, and I was thinking, okay, this is it. This is where we're gonna have this big move. And so I size in 1,000 shares at 179, looking for that break of 182, which is the previous high. So we have this nice little cup and handle formation, and then the 9 EMA kind of kissed the bottom of this candle, and then that next candle had that full green body candle on high volume into the high, and that's where I just started sizing up pretty good here at 2,000 shares, and took it off, you know, immediately as we broke. But I got a nice 6 cents on 2,000 shares. And then I tried to go for a dip here at 188 after the test of this previous high of 182, thinking we'd see a move up to potentially $2. But it kind of failed here. We had a pop over that level of 188 or 189, the previous new high. So I thought we'd see that move to 2, but we rejected that level and started flushing below this previous 82 level. So that's where I started to take my scratch trade there. And here we're holding up pretty well, so I thought there was still potential to see like a 5 minute move. So I was adding here 177 for the break of this pivot at 183. Rejected off that level, and then I took it off pretty quickly for a small loss, only 200 shares. And that's where I finished the day. I was up on that ticker alone. I made about $400, a little bit less than $400. And that put me from red to green, a base hit kind of green day, $140. That's, you know, I'm happy with that. You know, definitely could have had a worse day. I was down 250. So, you know, I'll definitely take this win and then come back tomorrow, and hopefully we get, you know, similar or even better momentum that we saw today. And so that's it. See you guys tomorrow for the next day trading recap, and hope you guys are green today. All right, peace.